normally we tend to do it in a smaller cup, but if I get a latte and ask for a flat white foam to it, it's still a flat white. But yeah, that's essentially what a flat white is.
What's the ratio of espresso?
So when you're doing your espresso, you're doing your Bezzera double shot to it. Your volume of milk will be a higher volume of milk, and then the foam layer should be like that. Like super like paper thin kind of layers. Yeah, because most people like it's just put it in a smaller cup. I prefer smaller portions to it. Like when I get flat white, I do prefer like at most an 8 ounce or 10 ounce cup to it. But you know, after having talked to a lot of Australians, they're like, "Oh, my any cup is a flat white." I'm like, okay, cool. Let's hear it.
It's like the ratio.
So I'm actually going to teach you how to. I'll actually show you how to do a very specific style of flat white after the latte. Because this one is actually a little bit different than a circuit class. So we'll start with our shot. We'll do our latte next.
You want some pizza?
No.
Sorry. Actually, you get it.
Yeah, sure.
Did you do me a favor?
Yeah, sure.
Do you mind just filling up the water tank for me? So the thing with this machine as well is that you have the option of either using a water tank or direct water line as well. So it's a rotary pump, so you're able to have the machine.
Professional, you would just have a pump in.
Not necessarily. Like me personally, I would actually just use a water tank. Like I would recommend pumping it in if you have some level of filtration. If you don't have a filtration system in it, I wouldn't pump it in just because what's going to happen is that you're going to notice a lot of calcium buildup a lot faster. Whereas if I'm using a water tank and I have, let's say, a Brita filter, I can fill it up with a Brita filter, and this way it decreases the amount of the chance of calcification. Not to say it removes it, but also at the same time, when it comes up to espresso extraction in general, you do want to have some level of minerals in there, like softer
I
minerals.
was just going to ask that question because I know that some people have said that if you use distilled water, then it completely saves your machine.
It
But
depends. So
doesn't that change the flavor?
it does. So it changes the flavor because coffee needs those minerals, the softer minerals, to get a good texture and flavor out there. If you're using an automatic machine, sure, use distilled water, that's fine. If you're using these machines, no, don't ever use distilled water with it because it can actually damage the machine, and a lot of times the machine doesn't censor the water that's in there because it does read like in terms of there's minerals to it or a certain weight that the water produces. If you have distilled water, it actually is a lot lighter, so the machine assumes that there's no water in the tank. So we do recommend always using some kind of filtered water, so use distilled water in these machines. Because we have a lot of times where customers come in and it's like, oh, I put in distilled water in there, and the machine keeps telling me that my tank is empty. Because you're
Like
using
these
distilled water.
Like these ones as well?
Not as much on the Bravo machines, but I still don't recommend using distilled water.
Okay.
In general, it's better to use like a filtered water instead.
Food production.
Better for the machine or for the taste?
From our fridge.
Both taste and machine. Like those taste wise, you get so much more texture out of it.
Our fridge water's filtered.
Yeah.
Alright, let's pull our shot.
They're close. They're going there right now in August.
No. But yeah, probably for offer.
Now, what makes steaming a latte different than a cappuccino is that I'm not adding as much air to the latte as I do with the cappuccino. So I want it to be a little bit more milky.
And you wouldn't steam it as long, I'm assuming.
You're supposed to be as long to get the temperature you're looking for, but I'm just not moving it up and down to add that much air to it. So I add a little bit of air just because I still want some foam, but not as much air as I would for a cappuccino.
So does that mean that you're steaming it deeper? Or
A little bit deeper than
Okay.
with the cappuccino. So if you look at this milk here, you notice that it's more milky and not as much foam into it like I did with the cappuccino.
And you always pour a little bit off with that pour.
Or just because sometimes I do add a little bit of extra milk to it, so just pour the excess off. over.
You're doing
We're
good.
Done. Going home now. Quit. There we go.
That's great.
So there is our latte. So latte wise, if you notice the difference between the latte and the cappuccino, it's more milky than our cappuccino. Higher ratio of milk, but still a decent amount of foam to it. So if I were to actually take this off. There we go. So if I were to take a spoon and scoop it through a cappuccino, you'll notice that
Foam's floating on top, yeah.
exactly more of that kind of thick marshmallow foam. Whereas if I take this, you'll notice you see the milk right away. And that's kind of what you're looking for in your latte. More of that kind of texture, that milky texture, not so thick, not as thick as your cappuccino. Now, size-wise, the latte tends to be more of a 12-ounce size to it. So normally if you get a 12-ounce drink, that's usually your latte to it. It's more people who want more of that milky taste to it, as opposed to that foamy or stronger taste. Because when you're using a latte, the thing with a latte is that you'll still get that coffee taste, but you're going to get more of that milk taste. So we're people who prefer that kind of milkiness to it, as opposed to a really concentration to it. But that's your latte.
Awesome.
So I'm just going to do one more drink, since I mentioned it. We'll do a drink called Doctor. What a Doctor is, it's a ristretto shot of espresso, so a short espresso shot with more of a flat white texture. So this one here is designed to kind of have a really nice concentration of flavor from your espresso, and then that nice kind of flat white texture to it. And this one only does a small 8-ounce shot, nothing bigger than that. Now the thing